Okay, welcome back. You know, we mentioned before, we want to say thank you to Barnes & Noble, the Brick, made all the books available, and you can buy all these books today at Barnes & Noble, take them home. But my favorite part of the store, Megan, is the cafe. And I'm drinking a green iced tea, unsweetened, from the cafe. Mmm, delicious. Yeah, it's good. And my favorite thing to eat in the cafe is any one of the cheesecakes.
You love their cheesecake?
I love the cheesecake.
Did you try the pumpkin spice cheesecake
Not
yet?
I'll have to try that tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome. It is so good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, if you
Maybe
like.
we'll have a piece of cheesecake next week when we come on. Okay, next up. On all the bestseller lists, Glenn Beck.
Again.
Arguing with Idiots.
This is his third straight bestseller.
Third bestseller.
Third bestseller.
I mean, he is just hot right now.
Or no, I'm sorry, fourth bestseller.
And, you know, Glenn Beck is on a nationwide tour in a bus that's decorated with the cover of this book.
Does he really?
And that's right. And he stops at different stores, does book signings. People come out to meet him. He's very friendly. And those that have watched him on Fox TV, he's a real character. He's a real character.
You think?
And I think so. And I was just wondering, do you think he dresses in this uniform when he does the book signings?
No, I would hope not.
I would hope not either. Okay, so what does Glenn Beck talk about? He talks about all the things that are or should be right in America. Mm-hmm. That's what he talks about. And when he says about arguing with idiots, the people he refers to are idiots in the book are people that come up to you and say things like, gun control would eliminate crime in America.
Basically, this is a book on how to win an argument with someone. And he gives you all the facts. He gives you all the Bill of Rights. He gives you all the amendments.
All
he
the
gives
research.
you all examples of how to win this argument.
On page 50,
fun, this book.
Page 54 of this book, which I just read this afternoon, if someone says to you, well, we should copy the healthcare system in the United Kingdom, he gives you some frightening details about that health system and what needs to happen in this country. It's also a fun book to read.
Yeah.
It's not written in chapter by chapter form. I don't know how well you can see this, but there's graph, there's pictures, there's little notes.
You see it?
Whoops, sorry.
There you go.
There we go. You know, so every book has different things in it you can look at, chapters to read. There we go. You know, higher education, talks about higher education, talks about everything that's important.
It's not a book you have to read straight from top cover to bottom cover.
You can keep it out on the table, read it as you go, open up to one section. You know, if the guy at work keeps bugging you about the right, you know, certain rights that people should have, you can refer to this book and strengthen your argument when you come back. Now, who should read this book? First of all, everyone who agrees with the things that Glenn Beck says on his show, radio and TV.
Okay.
It reinforces what he says. But I'd also recommend this book to every liberal watching this show because it might give you a different view. You know, it's based not on just stuff made up, it's based on facts and research. And I find it very interesting. And even some things I didn't agree with Glenn Beck on 100%, I understand now after reading this book.
Okay.
So I found it very interesting.
I just find it amazing that he has another book on the bestsellers already.
And it went to bestseller right away, right?
It did.
Okay.
Well, he had The Inconvenient Book, The Common Sense,
That's
and
right.
last Christmas he had The Christmas Sweater.
That's right. Common Sense was a fabulous book.
Did you like that?
I did like that.
You know what? I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but
Recommended
everyone...
highly.
Really?
Yep.
Maybe I'll try it for next week.
And this book I recommend to my friend Carl if he's watching. Carl, I know you'll love this book. So enjoy it. Okay. All right, Glenn
And
Beck.
that's on our shelves right now.
That's on our shelves. When you walk into the store at Barnes & Noble and Brick, go to your left. Bestsellers are right there. And it might be the #1 bestseller right now.
I think
number two?
I think it is. I think it might be one.
Good book, fun book to read, informative and entertaining at the same time. Okay. All right, next up.
All right.
This is another one of Megan's choices.
This is called 14 Cows for America. I picked it. It was published in August of 2009. It's a children's book that really is slowly coming onto the radar. And it's about a man, Nyoma. He's a native of Kenya. He was in New York City on September 11th, the time of the attacks in 2001. And when he went back to his home country of Kenya.
9 months later.
Yep, 9 months later, he told his tribe, the Maasai tribe, I believe, about the attacks on New York City. And the tribe was so moved that they wanted to help the American people. They couldn't believe that something like that could happen in America. So they did a symbolic gesture, and they blessed 14 cows, because cow in their country in Kenya is life.
That's right.
So they blessed these 14 cows, and they symbolically gave it to the American people. And it's just a beautifully written, colored, painted, oh, it's gorgeous. And it just opens up the discussions for adults and children to really evaluate what we find important in our lives.
Right. The story is told by a brilliant storyteller, Carmen Didi, and illustrated by Thomas Gonzalez. And the cover is beautiful, and the illustrations are just stunning.
Yeah, they are.
Just show some of the
gorgeous.
pictures here. Here's an example of what it looks like. And the story is really very, very moving. And I think it's safe to say that this book, and here's the 14 cows,
Yeah.
right? This book will definitely become a children's classic.
I think so.
Yeah, I think children that
I think it's a classroom staple, really.
yeah,
it's a
children that
classroom
hear this,
staple.
read this book today. Let me show some of the beautiful illustrations. You know, children that read this book today or read this book today will seek this book out for their kids, their grandkids.
Definitely.
It's going to become a classic book, and the story is a story of really compassion.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Right. And I think it does two things for our children that hear this story. One, it puts in perspective how grateful we should be for what we have.
Well, it kind of slapped me back to reality, don't you think? And
Yeah.
how much we put into having the right cell phone, the right home, the right car, but what do we really have? Like, these people have a cow, and that is their life.
That's it.
And it's so beautiful and poignant, and it's just an amazing story. Hopefully every classroom will have this book, in every library, and
I think
schools
they
will
should.
have this.
Yeah. So in addition to putting in perspective how much we should appreciate what we have, it also emphasizes that no matter how little you have, you can still give to others. Because here's a very remote village in Kenya that has really nothing compared to what
Right.
we have. And like Megan said,
But they have everything.
But they have what's important.
Yeah, they have everything.
And they were moved by the story of 9/11, by the loss of thousands of American lives, to do something for America.
Yeah.
This poor little village in Kenya moved to do something for Americans. And they gave what's most valuable to them, those 14 cows. So, beautiful story, beautifully told. It can be read with a child in one sitting. The pictures are beautiful, and they'll want to hear this story again and again
definitely.
and again. And I think even adults will be moved.
Oh, I cried when I read this book. When I saw it back in the children's section, I'm like, why are we hiding it back
That's
here?
right.
And I put it on the customer service desk. So this is on our picture book wall back in the children's section at the Barnes & Noble and Brick.
So buy it for your kids, buy it for your grandkids, nieces, nephews. Great book, destined to be a children's classic.
Definitely.
Okay, we got 2 more books coming up in a minute. Let's take another break, and we'll see you on the other side.